Fan Formula on the 15th of April, just after the Chinese Grand Prix. Question 1. There seem to be 3 incidents of unsafe release in the pit lane. Michael Schumacher, Lewis versus Kimi, and Alonso versus Lewis. Mercedes have been fined €5,000 with the other 2 incidents going unpenalised. What are your views on the mentioned moments and the penalty for Mercedes? Well, for starters, I'm sure the rationale behind the Mercedes fine is because the wheel wasn't actually attached. It was on the car, but it could have easily come off and hit someone in the pit lane. So I'm sure that is the rationale behind that. As for Lewis and Kimi, I was expecting the Lewis and Kimi one to be investigated, because well, Kimi was driving pretty close to the pit boxes, but then that's a tough one to call on the unsafe release, because Kimi was one pit box further down than Lewis, and it would, you know, if you both do the same sort of pit stop time, you're going to get out at the same point. So I can understand why they left that one alone, but I think it should have at least had a very small fine attached to it. And the Alonso versus Lewis, I didn't see the Alonso versus Lewis one, so I won't comment, but I imagine it was fairly similar to the Lewis versus Kimi. I do think, though, the FI needs to be more specific in what they find, because this is a classic example of, oh, we'll fine them, actually now we can't be asked to find the rest of the other people. You know, it sort of highlights how the FIA is still something very half-assed in its approach to incidents. Question 2. The 2011 Chinese Grand Prix was marred by too many DRS overtakes. What was your view on the effectiveness of DRS in this year's event? And do you have a favourite battle for position from the race? DRS was fine-tuned a bit better this year for the race. I do admit last year was far too many overtakes. Well, it's not. You can't have too many overtakes in Formula 1. There's too many artificial overtakes. The DRS zone was placed correctly. However, as we saw, it was a good battle to watch. It was one of my favourites from the race. The battle when there when it was Massa, Raikkonen, and all that crew, was about 8 cars in a line. DRS was useless. On the F1 forum, Jensen Button said, you know, you used your KERS to keep up to the guy in front around the lap. Then when it comes to DRS, you've used up all your KERS. So then you just sort of got to hope that they make a bit of a mistake in front, or you catch a break and catch a tailwind, but then everyone else gets a tailwind. So it's a tough one to call. I really like seeing the Williams battle, and they were battling for decent points. I was really pleased to see that. I saw Bruno Senna. I think Lewis Hamilton just overtaking Bruno Senna, but I saw Bruno Senna having. Some might say the cheek. I say, you know, he had the gall to try and take the position back. It was just brilliant because it showed that the Williams. So I saw someone on Twitter said, you know, the Williams built a good car. Now imagine what they would be like if they're good drivers. I take a bit of an offence to that tweet, because, you know, none of us, the only people who've driven the FW34 are Bruno and Pastor, plus any development Rubens did in the simulator for it. It proves that the Williams have made a massive improvement, and they're actually fighting for decent positions. Question 3. With unexpected cold conditions in China, do you think that Mercedes race pace is better in colder conditions, with both McLaren drivers believing the warmer temperatures will positively affect the McLaren car in Bahrain? And will this bode well for Mercedes in the upcoming European leg? It might bode well for Mercedes in the European leg, the colder temperatures, but don't forget in the European leg we've got 2 very low downforce tracks. We've got Monza and we've got Spa, and if Mercedes can use the wings will be quite skinny at both tracks, but when the DRS is open, Mercedes will be shedding the downforce off the front of their car as well, so they'll be that little bit faster. So it might not just be the temperature that helps Mercedes on this leg. Whether the heat will give McLaren the edge, I don't know, because we don't know what upgrades they put on the car this time, so they might have gone back. The upgrades they put on might have made them take a step backwards. Then the bonus question: after an incredible pole win conversion, making it 6 different winners for the past 6 Grand Prix, do you think we'll see a different winner in Bahrain? If by different do you mean someone we haven't seen win, then the only person who could win that hasn't won, unless we have a really upside down race where we see, I don't know, Pastor Maldonado taking the victory, or the Force India taking the victory, The only other person who can win realistically is Michael Schumacher. If you mean different as in will it be someone else who's already won, but they'll be winning again, making it a different, so you know it's not always the same winner, then of course I think Button and Hamilton are in with the best shot of the victory in Bahrain. I do think that the only person who could potentially win to make it a seventh different winner in Bahrain is Michael Schumacher. I'm guessing Bernie Ecclestone. There won't be a hot a parade lap and things in Bahrain. What it will be is everyone will be coming off the back of a C-130, and it will be the people who are brave enough to get out. I know it sounds might be cynical or a bit racist, but well, not racist, but it might just be a bit cynical in the whole Bahrain situation. But they shouldn't be going. Anyway, that was another question at the fan formula at the time. That's the end of the fan formula. Just go on to some Storm Space Productions stuff. I still need 2 people to do voices for Where's My Liberty. I'm trying to get people to do the voicing for me, and I can't find anyone who will do it. You know, just send a tweet to @StormSpaceProd or @CY90999. If you can either do a very good falsetto if you're a guy, or if you're a lass, just because we need 2 lasses for it. Our website is still being built. It is stormspaceproductions.com. There is some stuff on there. I'm waiting for a buddy of mine to get back from holiday so he can get cracking on with coding it correctly. The website will eventually have a store on it. I want to build a community on it, a bit like how Rooster Teeth have done, because I think that's a really... the difficulty is I don't want to copy them. It's just that they've got a brilliant following, and that's the best way for them to interact with all their fans and followers. But the main priority is getting the videos page up and the store built for it. But to check out our most recent video, go to blip.tv/stormspace. That's where all our videos are posted. We use blip.tv because we get paid for every view. That's about all. So we'll see the next fan formula after Bahrain.